All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We have an amazing guest with us today, Jessica. I met her at church with my friend Lydia, learning a little bit more about their business and just this rocky road, this lifestyle, change, rapid change, that just turns our lives upside down. And then how do we recover? So Jessica's here to share her story of success and share her story of hurts and frustrations. Been through this through my own injuries, which is just so frustrating. So it's great to Jessica to join us to talk about some of the ways you've gotten over these severe obstacles. So we're going to talk a little bit about vertigo and dizziness, and this is when the world just turns upside down. I've seen patients that literally they fall right back on the table, they throw up. um, People who just can't even get out of bed certainly can't get in a car because of vertigo and dizziness. So Jessica's been through a whirlwind yourself, but tell us a little bit first about how you got into dance. I see this beautiful picture of you dancing. So how did dancing start for you?
Hi, Justine, and thanks just so much for allowing me to be a part of this talk. Dance has always been a part of my life. I grew up in dance. I started at the age of 4, and it just seemed like a very natural progression for me to go into it professionally. It really becomes a part of you. It's something that it's a love. It's something that you just there's nothing else that really compares to how dance feels and how it feels to be on a stage and perform for other people and to see their happy faces and just to entertain. It's really something that's so amazing. And I did it all. I did dance. I was a singer. I did acting, and it was for stage and television and film as well. So
Pretty
yeah,
cool.
it's been a part of me for forever.
How many hours a day would you be training to be able to, I see the splits way in the air there, like, holy cow. I mean, splits on the ground is tough, but just what kind of hours of training were you doing at that time? Like, what would be a lifestyle when you say as a professional dancer? What would be a day like that for you?
Well, growing up at the studio, we did probably 5 to 6 days of dance. Often, it's maybe 3 to 5 hours every night. And then, obviously, when we did competitions, we were competing on weekends, and they were all weekend long, usually from Thursdays to Sundays. And as a professional dancer, though, it looked a little bit different because I would have to do all those classes on my own. So quite often I would travel to Toronto and I would set up professional classes in different studios that are downtown that offered different styles of dance. But the other part of it was going to the gym. The training for professionals, especially when I was still dancing, we didn't have a lot of classes, and you have to really put your own discipline in there. And so traveling into the city was what I did a lot. But then going to the gym and just doing typical workouts with weights and, like yoga and things on my own. So that
And
was
then,
really how we trained.
you get this beautiful dance career. You're probably in the fittest stage of your entire life, full of, amazing, strong muscles,
Mhm.
probably, abs of steel. So tell me, like, what happened? How did this vertigo start?
It really started out of the blue. I kind of felt like I was maybe coming down with the flu. I might have been getting something, and out of the blue, I was on the job. Luckily, it wasn't a dance job that I was doing, and I just felt off. And yeah, the room just started spinning in circles. And luckily, the job that I was doing was with my husband, and he took on an 8-hour shift on his own, and I was in the back room just feeling awful. The room was spinning. I didn't know what was going on. I thought maybe it was an ear infection. But honestly, nothing led up to it. There was no signal other than maybe just feeling a little sick. And so that was one of the things that was very shocking. And I was only 23 at the time. And so, again, like I was doing a lot of working out. I thought, I was healthy. I was very fit. But, as I've learned being fit and being healthy are actually two different things in my mind. So yeah, it just really came out of nowhere.
And how did it affect your like your career, your lifestyle, your emotions? Like, how did that affect you?
Um, it completely destroyed my career. I actually ended up having to quit. For a little while, I was attempting to do auditions. Again, I thought it was just something that would go away. I thought it was, a virus. A lot of the doctors told me that, oh, it's just something like labyrinthitis, which stems from a virus. It'll go away in 6 weeks. So my mind was on the 6 weeks will pass, 6 weeks will pass, and everything will just be back to normal. And then 6 weeks went by, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and nothing changed. But yeah, I ended up having to give up my career because it was just too hard for me to handle both. It wasn't fair to the people I was working with either. There was a couple of times I actually attempted to work, and rather than being on the job, I'd get through rehearsal half of the time on the floor because certain things I just couldn't do because I was so dizzy. And yeah, I even had choreographers that were concerned and reported to my agent, and they're like, we're concerned. We don't know if she'll be able to make it. And I actually had to cancel last minute on some of my shows, which is probably the worst thing a dancer could have done. But I really, really wanted to work. So I thought maybe it would, maybe it would just go away. I thought medication would work, and it didn't. And so that was one of the things that I was just deciding to do. I'm like, you know what, I got to take some time off and figure out if this would go away. So
what kind of, like, I mean, for somebody who doesn't know what vertigo is, what kind of limitations did you have? Like, how was it affecting you that you couldn't work?
Well, again, it's constant spinning. As a dancer, you're very grounded. Like you know your body. You know where you are in the world. One of the things, actually, ironically, that I was very good at was turning.
Yeah.
And as a dancer, you spot and you whip your head around when you do turns. And so that was one of the things that I was very good at. I have very good balance. And even to this day, interestingly enough, I have very good balance. And so, yeah, it just, everything was very difficult for me, even just any movement of my eyes. So I couldn't read a book or anything. I was very thankful at the time. I think back now that when it first started, it was in the summertime, because I would actually just sit out in the backyard of my parents' house and I would just stare at the clouds because that was all I could do. I just felt sick all the time. The room was spinning, night and day. I actually had dreams where the room was spinning. I would wake up and just, feel the dizziness immediately. So it just never went away for me. I know that certain types of vertigo, like vertigo is a symptom of a greater issue. There's a lot of things that can cause vertigo. And there's a lot of vestibular issues that are slightly different. Mine to this day is still not diagnosed. And so it was very difficult to go through what I went through when I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, it's so frustrating, right? Like I know when I had to give up hockey at the highest level because of a knee injury, and then it was just, so emotional, right? To give up something that you'd been spending 20 some odd years, your 100% of your focus, your energy, your emotions, like, hockey became a religion for me. I was all in. So for you, I'm sure you were that way with dance. How did you handle the emotional side?
Oh, it's almost just as hard as the physical side. So a part of me kind of died. It was, the love that I had for so many years, and thinking that I would never have that ability back again was heartbreaking. I actually couldn't even watch other people dance because I would just burst into tears because I missed it. It's like losing like a loved one. I had to mourn over the loss of a part of me and figure out, I actually went through kind of an identity crisis. Like I didn't know who I was, because to me, I was a dancer.
Yeah.
It's like introducing your profession to somebody. Hi, I'm a dancer. What do you do? I'm a dancer. And so losing that part was heartbreaking. And I could see other people around me. They're like, "Oh, you'll get back to it one day," and I'm just like, "I don't think so." And but they couldn't. It's not like when you lose a loved one, you can relate to other people. I didn't have a lot of other people who were understanding of that type of emotion. But yeah, it was difficult because, I also couldn't do a lot of things with other people because I'd just feel sick all the time. And yeah, emotionally, very, very difficult. Even to this day, it's still, it gets triggered every so often emotionally. I'm a little bit over the dance scene now. So I know eventually I would have had to give up dance.
Yeah.
A lot of dancers move on to other things in their life. But I was only 23. I wasn't ready to give it up at that time.
Yeah.
And so trying to find myself again in another area and another field was very difficult. So
I'm sure it was. And what kind of test did you get done? I mean, like all of a sudden everything's so dizzy, it's so crazy, you're feeling so ill. So what were you referred to? What kind of testing did you actually do? And then of course, like, what was the treatment route? What did you do after that?
So for me, getting the test done actually was quite difficult. I had a very hard time with doctors believing that I actually had a problem. Because I was a trained dancer, my balance was still very good, and they thought I was faking it,
Oh
believe
no.
it or not. Or like I was just a girl trying to get attention. I'm like, no, like I'm really dizzy. You've got to do something. And so first, the doctors didn't do anything. They didn't send me for tests. Finally, I did get some testing done. So I got the whole gamut that you can think of.
Mhm.
I had an MRI. I had CT scans. I did the ENG tests, which are there's two different ones. They have ones with electrodes they put on your around your eyes, and they even do one where they put water into your ears. That's the worst one because it triggers the dizziness. But it's to record your eye movements and things. I did a rotating chair test. I did hearing tests and eye tests as well. So there was a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're also feeling crummy as you're trying to get to and from, because what's a car ride like for you then?
It's still not great. I actually don't really like traveling anymore. I have a hard time when the road tilts or is at a weird angle.
Mhm.
And I do still have a bit of visual overstimulation a lot of the time, especially in the car. Driving back then, it's interesting because my driving has actually changed a lot of the time, but I really don't like traveling. Back then, I was getting other people to drive a lot for me.
Mhm.
But again, it wasn't any worse than being out of the car because I just felt sick all the time. So
Got it. Oh, horrible. And so, like, I mean, okay, then you find out that you have vertigo, and great. What were some of the things they tried to help you then? What were some of your treatment options, healthcare options? What did you do?
Well, I think the tricky part is again, I actually never got a full diagnosis. So a lot of the treatment plan was based on speculation that they ruled out things. So things like BPPV. I had the Epley maneuver done, and it didn't work for me
Mhm.
because they had ruled out things like BPPV. I had hearing tests done and the MRIs that basically determined that I didn't have Meniere's disease. But some of the things that I did end up doing, I ended up trying the medication Circ. And at the time, that medication wasn't even approved by the FDA here in Canada. And so I had taken it a few years later, but it didn't work for me. I had thought that once I was on medication that I was like, great, this'll go away. I can get back to my dance career. And it just never did. So the things that actually really helped me the most, and I had found this out from somebody at my church who had their daughter who also had a different type of vertigo. She had mal, I I can't say the name, but MDDS, I believe, is the short term for it. But they suggested I get an appointment to see somebody who does vestibular rehabilitation. And that was the thing that actually helped me the most, doing balanced like exercises and different eye exercises and things to sort of retrain your brain to connect with what was off in my system. Because technically, from all the tests that I did, there was nothing physically wrong with my ears. There was nothing wrong with my eyes. Like, everything was intact. So there was no reason for me to be dizzy, technically. But the vestibular rehab was the thing that really helped me the most. The second thing that helped me the most was actually my dietary changes that I ended up doing on my own. And that was through the help of naturopaths. I saw a nutritionist at the time. And even I think the people that really did help me the most, partly because the doctors didn't believe me, was actually the chiropractic clinic that I was seeing at the time. They had a whole different team of people at the clinic that really helped me. One of the chiropractors there actually has Meniere's. And so he totally understood what it meant to feel dizzy, what it meant to feel out of place. And so he really did help me at the time.
Oh, that's amazing. And definitely, as chiropractors, we work with the nerves in the neck that can affect dizziness, vertigo, affect the ears, affect blood pressure, but we're not fixing vertigo. We're helping balance your brain body connection. And looks like, you did all sorts of things. Like, there isn't one fix. We hear now, we did balance and vertigo work, which our physiotherapist Sachi has extra courses in that vestibular work. But then you're looking at the naturopath, then you're looking at the nutrition, then you're looking at the right exercise, then you're looking at chiropractic. So you're changing your whole world, is what I hear, right? Including changing your career, which then it changes even your relationships with friends, family, how you can relate to them, or I'm sure just even get together with a friends or family. How would that affect your life when you're dizzy?
Oh yeah, it's everything changed. And a lot of these things didn't change immediately. Like, it wasn't like overnight. This started back for me in 2007. And so this was a slow transition over time. And again, it affects your whole body. And even the people around you too. So like you said, with the family and friend connections, I, obviously wasn't going out with a lot of people really at all. And a lot of my friends now are different than they were then. And I think that's, natural progression for anybody, but definitely I everything changed. So, but it was over time.
Well, I'm so happy that you got like a healthcare team. And I know in future talks, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the movement exercises, and we're going to do a talk about nutrition, about gluten intolerance. I also definitely do better on a gluten-free diet. So have made that being vegetarian and gluten-free huge changes. So I really, in future talks, I'm looking forward to diving into that. But, you got this healthcare team working for you to help you be your best, which is so awesome. And so that's led you to this new career, which is amazing, working with your mom, Lydia. So tell us a little bit. I see in the background all the dance outfits. So, very similar to me when I hurt my knee, I didn't make the Olympics. I started being the chiropractor for the Olympians and top level athletes. So tell me how you transitioned. You're still keeping your passion of dance and helping athletes. Tell me where you're at today.
So today, yes, I do work with my mom, and it all kind of started back when, actually a year before I got vertigo. We had started this business, and I was sewing, and luckily I had grown up as a sewer. And back then, my mom and I were working from our house, but we're now in our own space, and we've recently changed our focus. Over the years, we were actually making dance costumes for studios. Now we have changed our focus to match up a little bit better with our lifestyle and our values. And so for us right now, we have a dancewear shop, And we actually currently make all of, like, I design and we make all the dancewear and activewear right here in our shop. And so it's all made right in Canada, which is awesome. And we also are carrying a lot of self-care products and accessories that are supportive of a healthy and active lifestyle as well. We've got in a lot of naturally made ingredients for like bath salts and things from subsequent brands and supportive brands. So yeah, we want to be able to give back to people and help them sort of see the same kinds of things that that we believe in. So
Amazing. And then again, that's all about changing your lifestyle, right? Like this horrible thing of vertigo has led you to a different path, right?
yes.
And in this path, you are going to be able to help others because toxins can lead to damage to the spine, the nervous system, help your entire body. And a lot of these toxins are hidden, hidden in our personal care products, hidden in our makeup, hidden in deodorants, hidden in creams. So it's so great to, support a local Brampton person, support a Canadian business, especially with the pandemic, with how many businesses that just didn't make it. So this is exciting. We can see her mod, her my own design business. Tell us a little bit about how people can reach you.
So right now we have a little shop that's located in Brampton, and we're just south of Steeles and Dixie Road. Our website is myowndesign.ca, and we have everything available there, all of our self-care products and our dancewear that's made to order that can be placed on our website. And you can also reach us and follow us on social media as well. We respond to a lot of comments, or you can see some of our products there. We post all the time. Our Instagram handle is mod.dancewear.boutique, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/myowndesign. The other line that we just recently started, actually, for a few months now, is called Peace and Power Lifestyle, and it's not activewear or dancewear necessarily. We have a lot of aromatherapy products there that are good for things that people need to sort of relax and stay calm and help with things like anxiety, which also comes hand in hand with vertigo. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. So we have a lot of subsequent products there too. And right now it's currently just online. We carry the line through our My Own Design website, and I have an Instagram page there, and the handle for that one is peace_and_power_lifestyle.
Amazing.
And I guess I can mention our phone number here,
okay.
just in case anybody feels like calling us. The phone number for our location is 905-796-8484.
Guys, reach out here. Looks like some great stuff. Some pretty cool dancing outfits, or get a team of your own together as we can get together more. Because I think we can be dancing right till our 90s. I remember dancing, even with my grandfather right till his 90s. He lived till 98. So pretty cool stuff. One of the things I want to ask you is that, I met Lydia through North Bramley United Church. And I mean, this is tough stuff. Like you said, like you can get anxiety, you can get frustrated, you can get overwhelmed. How did your spirituality or your connection, how did you manage that to not just be so mad at life, mad at God, mad at, the world? How did this, how did you, find your soul? How did you find your base going through this challenge, and how's that changed you?
You know what? It was very difficult over the years, especially with my faith. I think anybody going through a major ongoing health condition can definitely be challenged in that field. Again, I thought, my purpose was in dance and in being active. And so with the identity crisis also came, well, who am I really? And over the years, I had to sort of discover that again, and obviously through prayer and meditation and things, finding out who God really sees me, and what my purpose is really in life. And, I used to consider myself a dancer. Now I consider myself an artist, and that can
Love
come in
it.
many forms. I'm a creative person, and I can sort of be wherever God needs me to be, and I can help in other ways. But yeah, it was very challenging trying to find that. I had stopped going to church for a while for other reasons than just my faith being challenged. I obviously had a very hard time actually sitting in church. Singing was hard, and there was a lot of movement and things. So again, with just how I was feeling, it was very hard being there. Although now, if there's a lot of online things, that would have been great at the time.
Yes, exactly.
But
Exactly.
and actually over the years, I think, through prayer, thankfulness, and forgiveness is one of the things that can really be healing as well. Forgiving ourselves and trying to figure out who we are outside of our profession is really what it could
So
come down
true.
to.
I love it. If we just repeat that, we said prayer for thankfulness and forgiveness. I mean, that is lessons for all of us because we all get challenged, right? So, Jessica, thank you for sharing with us. Reach out to our amazing business. This is local. This is Brampton. Looking forward to chatting with you again, Jessica, and learning about this life story and life mission. Love being with my Zoom church family. And getting to know your mom more better. So thank you so much, and stay tuned, guys, for our upcoming talks. We have something every single week. We are trying to bring more and more, and all free. So share with others. We have information from our naturopath, Dr. Udani. You hear that Jessica saw a naturopath, saw a chiropractor, got help with vestibular therapy. And so we're going to learn a lot more about the science of vertigo and dizziness and the options and how, the different ways that this can happen to you and the different diagnoses. We're going to learn about core strength. I mean, that's strengthening the middle of us, super important, those love handles, but that helps your back. That helps every single part of you and helping with your spine and nervous system. We're going to learn about some different supplements of B12. B12 helps every nerve function in your body and super important for those of us who are vegetarian and aren't eating meat. And then, of course, we're going to learn about heart disease. This is still one of the #1 killers in North America, and it is rapidly affecting people, especially if we have lack of mobility, sedentary lifestyles, and fast foods, increased weight gain. So there's just so many things here. Great news to share with others. We're here to help you be your best and help your loved ones. So again, stay tuned. We look forward to being with you next week. Thank you so much again, Jessica. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks so much, Justine.